Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the 504 Core podcast. It's officially vacation, Corey. Michael, since the Nuggets and Avs have both been shockingly eliminated early in the playoffs. But first, let's talk about the future of the New Orleans Pelicans, and that hinges on what they do with Brandon Ingram this offseason. BI is up for a max extension. There's been rumblings about him being traded. I think the team will go that route. But what kind of trade packages are you liking from BI?
Yeah, so I've been, stalking it pretty good. I've been all over Twitter, been Google searching it every day, basically just to kind of get some kind of feel for whatever they could net in return. Um, I'm kind of paying attention a lot to other teams as well. Griffin doesn't really leak a lot of things, it seems like, and if he does leak it, it's really, really intentional. So um, I've been I've been really mainly looking at Eastern Conference teams. I know Griffin has Infinity for Ingram, so I don't think he'd want to ship him in the West if he can help it, but some guys I've been kind of looking at or just kind of seeing rumblings about. You look at Trey Young, who I'm not the biggest fan of. That could be one player. And then you got the Cavs, who I think would be a natural partner for the Pelicans. I mean, both teams have um, seem like they're going to change it up. Both teams are
Oh,
good teams, but they have teams that don't fit each other. So um, Atlanta Cavs. I've even looked at the Wizards. I mean, the Wizards have that second pick. The second pick this year isn't, as valued as other drafts, but it's still the second pick in the draft. So you could look that route. So you could look at like Denny Avia, who's a good young player, 6'9" forward. He's
yeah.
23, averaging 14 points on a good contract. So there's a lot of options out there. DeJounte Murray on Atlanta was rumored at the deadline. I don't know if DeJounte Murray for Brandon Ingram swap is as clean as that. You could do that. There's a lot of different routes they could go, but
Detroit,
yeah,
too.
yeah, Detroit. I mean, you could go after that fifth pick. You can go after a future. That's all the Eastern Conference teams, and then you kind of have teams like sleeper teams like the Kings, who the Kings can't really roll into the season with the team they have now. They kind of know what they are at this point. I don't know if they're going to retain Malik Monk or not, so they're probably going to need another little spark in their offense. So there's a lot of different
Who did they
routes you
give
can
up?
go.
Did they give up Keegan Murray? Because then I'll take that trade. Keegan Murray's a beast.
I mean, I would love Keegan Murray on a rookie contract, but then you got to throw in fillers. So you got to throw in like Harrison Barnes. And I mean, I sent you a trade the other day. It was Barnes, Herter, Herter, and two future first, which I weirdly did like because it's not really a move for now. It's more of a move for the future, and you can even package those picks and Barnes for something more. So there's a lot of different routes you could go. They could go. It's actually really exciting. I don't really. It's going to be weird because I know Griffin does value Brandon Ingram, so he's kind of one of those guys that's like he means more than us than to you kind of players.
Yeah.
So I really don't know, but all I do know is he even said in a press conference they're going to shake it up. So I've seen some crazy 3-team trades out there that are never going to happen, but it seems logical. So people are going crazy with it. Um, so what I was going to do, we talked about it briefly before the podcast. I was going to give you a list of some players. So let's say DeJounte Murray, let's say Jared Allen, Darius Garland. Let's start off with those three. How would you rank those three? And like, if you were to go after one of those players, like who would be your top three targets if you're the Pelicans?
Um. Why'd you pick my favorite three?
All right. Well, okay. Let's say Cleveland calls you and they're like, we want Ingram, but we're gonna get rid of Allen or Garland. Like,
Garland.
so you think it could be as simple as Garland for Ingram swap?
Um.
It'd just be easy. I mean, I don't think one player is more valuable than the other. I think they pretty
Yeah.
much have equal value at this point.
Yeah, I just think Garland fits what the Pelicans need with Zion. If you're fully going in with Zion, a lead point guard who can shoot from half court, right? He's deadly 3-point shooter. But if you do get Garland, then you do have to move CJ too. That's the thing about Garland. I don't think CJ and Garland can be your backcourt unless CJ comes off the bench and you go Garland, Herb, Trey Murphy, and then CJ comes off the bench, and I kind of like that because that provides a lot of scoring off your bench. What do you
Yeah.
think about that?
No, I mean, I'd like Garland. I think it's pretty much equal value. You're selling low on BI and you're buying low on Garland, and I think Garland has a lot of upside. He's kind of on. I think he's on a max contract for the next 4 years.
Yeah.
He hasn't really looked well with playing with Mitchell, but those years he didn't play with Mitchell. He was a freaking all-star. So sometimes it's just fit, sometimes it's just system. I think he got hurt in the middle of the season this year. So
Yeah.
I think it'd be a good swap straight up. I think they could go after Jared Allen as well. That it's been confirmed by multiple sources. It seems like that they did have interest in him. So you could get Allen and like Karis LeVert and like a future pick swap or something like that for Ingram
Yeah.
to match salaries. And Ingram's a better player than Allen, but it shores up the defense on a center. So they need a center. I don't know. I don't know which one they're going to get. It seems like Claxton's going to get a lot of money. I don't think the Pelicans are going to pay that. So it seems like by trade. So you kind of naturally that might be the move. Yeah, I'm not
And you
sure,
know
but
how I
it's really
feel about
exciting
Murray.
for
You know how
DeJounte
I
Murray.
feel. Yeah, you know how I feel about him.
Yeah, I really like. I mean, I think DeJounte Murray is a great fit. Everyone's like, "Oh, he's not the defensive player he was." It's like, yeah, no shit. He's playing. He's playing right next to Trae Young, so he's covering up for his deficiencies, and he's guarding guys. Probably out of position, but he's on a really good contract. He's not on like a max contract or anything, so that would play well. Moving forward, he could be the third or fourth option on a championship team. So I think he'd be a really nice fit for the team.
And then just talking on that point, Mike, with Murray as well, is I think they're more likely to trade Trae Young than Murray.
Yeah, I mean that's what it seemed like to me too. I know the guy who reported Jake Fisher said that Trae Young would have a smaller market than Brandon Ingram, trade market that is. So I think Trae Young's going to go a lot less than what people think. I mean, I've seen these mock trades for Trae Young, like 3 picks, a good young player, and this like other really really good role player, and I don't think he's going to command that much. I know people are like, oh, the Spurs, and the Spurs there's already been reports saying they're not even interested, which I thought that was interesting. So I'm not sure if we went after Trae Young, then you definitely have to ship McCollum. I'm sorry, like you can't keep McCollum. That would just be a nightmare. I mean, I could drop 40 on them. So it would be really really bad if you kept McCollum and Trae Young. It would literally make no sense. If if they did trade McCollum and other stuff for Young, I would like that. Trae Young's not a bad player by any means, but I just don't. Just people complain about
Right.
people complain about the inefficiencies of McCollum, and then the same people are like, let's go get Trae Young. It's like, dude, like you guys,
Terrible defensively, a lot of turnovers, a lot of shots, not a great percentage from 3.
Yeah, he's a good player, but yeah, there are just times when you got to question certain things with him. I don't think he really moves the needle with the Pelicans, but I think would he make things exciting? Absolutely. But yeah, if you bring in Trae Young, you got to get rid of McCollum. I don't think there's any other way around it. So, he's Trae Young's also on a big contract, so you got to make sure that he's the guy as well. So, there's a lot of
Apparently
different
Zion
options.
likes him.
What's that?
Apparently Zion likes him.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like Zion's getting more vocal as well. So, maybe he might have a little hand in this. I doubt it, but you never know. But yeah, no, I think Brandon Ingram. I have a feeling Brandon Ingram's going to get a net of something nice. I think it's going to become more more towards the center, because it does seem like last year in the press conference they were like, we need a defensive big. That's our goal. They never got it, and then this year you have to have it because they literally don't have a center on their team. So, yeah, I think Jared Allen would be a natural piece, and then like I said, other salary filler, whether it's like Karis LeVert and a pick swap. That's going to be my prediction. But I mean, I wouldn't be mad at that. You sure up something. You got a guy on a good contract, good young player. But
What about Jalen Duren?
Jalen Duren, I'm really high on Jalen Duren. I don't know if the Pistons would trade him. I think they'd try and trade Isaiah Stewart and the 5th pick or a future first, and then what other fillers. But yeah, I mean, I think Detroit's a natural team, natural trade partner for the Pelicans. So yeah, you just got to look at the teams with a lot of assets who are just kind of, you know, in the East that just want to get better. And Detroit's a natural one. I don't know how long Washington wants to suck for. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But I mean, the draft's in what, like, I think it's 5 weeks away from now.
Yeah.
So they got a little time. The draft does suck. Apparently, I mean, everyone's saying that like the first pick this year is equivalent to like the fifth or sixth pick, like in a normal draft. So that's not very
But
good. And
yeah, but still, man, like you could still get a quality player.
yeah, I mean, every draft has some good gems. I don't know if there's any like true like bona fide all stars, but you can always get those role players, and that's what the Pelicans need. You don't need these, you don't need to be drafting all stars, so you just need good role
Yeah.
players. So we'll see what happens. But so how would you rank the targets for the Pelicans, like out of everyone?
I love Darius Garland's fit. Big Darius Garland fan, big Murray fan. Um, Jared Allen, I like that one too.
I think Jared Allen would be like a rich man Steven Adams, like.
Yeah.
But like, when Steven Adams is on, I think you're going to be getting like that with like Jared Allen. Like, I don't know. People are going to complain about, oh, he doesn't space the floor. It's just going to be the same issues. But yeah, no, he's
Um,
definitely a good player. There's no doubt about it.
I'm trying to think, dude, who else?
You could go the picks route. You could go like
Dude, I saw like Jabari Parker from Houston.
Jabari Parker. No, Jabari Smith.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I like that. He needs to fill out. He's too, I think he shoots a lot of threes. I don't know how well that play into,
Yeah.
I think he would be really good. In the future. But yeah, no, I really like that. I don't know. Would Houston do that? I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, Houston could be a natural team. I don't know if they'd trade him though for Ingram. Yeah, I think that'd
What about
be
you? Give me your top five.
um well, I think a sleeper team too might be Utah. Danny Ainge is, um
Who would they give up?
they
Kessler.
probably so the guy I really want is Kessler. Yeah, Kessler's not going to be some crazy player that's going to blow out the water, but he's a really good young player on a really good contract for the next 2 years. Um, you know, Defensive guy. He can stretch the floor a little bit. He can shoot threes. He doesn't do it much, but block shots.
I
But
love
and then you just do salary fillers. Like you can go get Colin Sexton. That'd be like a really good 6-man point guard. And then, John Collins or someone like that, just kind of take him off the books, just a 4 that flies around. So you could kind of fill out your roster and while also trading. And then maybe the 10th pick, it seems, and then just give them 21 and, Brandon Ingram. I think that'd be a good trade. But yeah, something like that. I mean, I do like Garland, maybe just something as simple as, a Garland or DeJounte Murray swap. Hey, who'd rather have, Murray or Garland?
God damn it, Mike. Dude, offensive reasons it's Garland, but defensive reasons it's Murray. But I
Murray
feel
is a way better contract too, and I think Murray you could probably get like Okongwu with it, and then Bi and whoever else you could fill in. Yeah, there's a lot of different options. I'm excited about it. I'm trying to think if there's any other trades I saw.
talked about the Wizards. The Orlando Magic were the favorites. Who
Yeah,
do the
I don't
Mavericks?
know how that works without. I mean, the only player that um
Was it Wagner or
yeah, that would be the only player they could really fill in unless they just threw a bunch of picks. But that team's so young and they're upcoming that.
like why do that?
Well, yeah, like I don't know if Orlando doesn't have any like future first round picks of any other team that they can just like toss in. So there's really no like Orlando situation. I mean, Jonathan Isaac or something like that is a really good defender, but you're gonna have to pay him. I was looking at it 2 days ago. He's making 17, and then he's a free agent after that. So like you're gonna have to pay him, and the Pelicans are about to get pretty pricey with everything. So, I'm not sure, dude. but I think it's gonna be a Western or an Eastern Conference team. What about the sleeper team too? Could be the Spurs, like
Yeah.
Keldon Johnson. They're saying Zach Collins, who I cannot stand. I cannot stand Zach Collins. He's so bad.
I know you can't stand Jalen Suggs either. I was going to
Oh,
bring up.
yeah, dude, Jalen sucks. I mean, he's a pesky defender, but he's a pain in the ass. But bro, his personality is terrible. Like, uh, yeah,
Apparently,
Jalen.
he's dating former LSU women's basketball players now at, I think she's at Mississippi State, Haley Van Lith.
He's dating Van Lith. I had no idea. Yeah, well, yeah, that dude. I remember going to the Orlando Pelicans game. He literally he literally got hurt. Like, acted like he tore his ACL. Got up like 3 minutes later, and then wanted to start a fight. And then later in the game, he tried to like yank Zion's leg and like got all like, I'm like, bro, this dude is just, he's a clown. So, but I mean, he's a really really good defender. He's one of the best defensive guards in the league. But I don't know if Orlando trade him, but I mean, Orlando could be a move. We'll see. There's a lot of, I think Griffin will net something nice. So there's not too many 6'9", 6'8", 20-point scores that can create like Ingram. So
Yeah, you're right.
but we'll find out. Do you have any predictions on it? I mean, we got a little time, but if it happens tomorrow, it could.
If it's tomorrow, Cleveland.
I was kind of hoping Indiana, maybe like a Matherin and like some other salary fillers, but that doesn't seem likely now that they're in Eastern Conference Finals, and they kind of went all in with the Siakam, so I don't know
Yeah.
how they could really afford them.
You don't think Bridges is an option?
So I was kind of thinking Bridges, but like, I mean, I know it was reported like 6 months ago or whenever it was that there some team offered, what was it, 4 or 5 first-round picks for Bridges. Like that's ridiculous. I hope to God I wasn't the Pelicans, but I mean, if you go after Bridges, like then what do you do with Murphy? Like you're gonna pay Murphy, and then what? You're gonna make him a 6-man? Like what do you do? Like it doesn't really make sense. So like you're gonna have to move either Murphy or Bridges to the bench, and Bridges is too good not to be coming off the bench, and Murphy's going to be making too much money to be doing that.
Would you move Herb Jones to the bench?
I mean, Herb Jones going to the bench, it really depends on like who's the other guard next to him. Like, is it McCollum? Like, I'm not sure. I'd have to answer that question after I see how it all plays out. But yeah, I think getting a lead point guard, I think getting a center is a must. That's not even debatable. But yeah, that's kind of how I'd rank it. I'm not sure, but so you're predicting Cleveland?
Yes.
Yeah, I could see it. I think it's natural too. I know Zach Lewis said that Mitchell, like the Pelicans, are sleeper for that, but I don't really know how that would work. I don't think he'd want to sign an extension.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I think guys just kind of float stuff out there, but yeah, we'll see. All right, we can move on from Ingram. That's enough Ingram talk for a while.
Yep. What do you want to talk about now? You want to talk about playoffs?
NBA or NHL? Let's stick with NBA. Let's stick with NBA.
Okay.
Dude, what's the city feeling like after last night?
Shocked. You're lead by 20 points in the third quarter. I was there, and just people couldn't hit shots. Michael Porter Jr. was bad, man. He averaged 10 points a game. He shot 37% from the floor. KCP had like 7 points. He couldn't hit anything. The guys outside of Jokic and Murray struggled, right? And Jokic, they started doubling him, and he was kicking it out, and nobody hit anything, dude. It was just like ice cold from the floor. You got outscored 60-37 in the second half, and just Minnesota just suffocating intense defense. And they're not scared of anyone. Anyone. And they're deep. They got 3 bigs. Their GM, Tim Connolly, used to be the general manager. He created the Nuggets. Used to be a general manager of the Nuggets. He created the Nuggets. And he created the Wolves to kind of beat the Nuggets. And if you look at that
Three
roster,
bigs. Yeah.
yeah, you got three, Mike. You got three legit centers that are athletic and can move. Cat, Nas Reed, Rudy Gobert. Um, and then you got then you got Anthony Edwards. Dude, Jaden McDaniels was really good. He had 23 points in game 7. Mike Conley hit some great shots. But when I knew it was over is when Rudy Gobert started hitting fadeaway jump shots.
Yeah, that's what everyone says. Everyone says that. Like once he made that shot, it's like,
Bro,
bro.
like, what you gonna do?
I saw he out of the top 15 guy, top 15 highest paid guys in the NBA, he's the only one remaining, and he's by far the worst one out of those 15. So, yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I don't know. I think they're gonna beat the Mavs pretty
Yeah,
easily.
I think they beat him in 5. I think they win it all. I do.
Yeah, I think that depends on Porzingis if he even plays.
But even that, dude, you got Cat and Gobert. You got 3 dudes, bro. Porzingis is already kind of a wimp in the playoffs. We saw that.
Pingus Tingus. Yeah. No, I mean, at
This
this
is
point,
here for Minnesota to break their curse.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Minnesota, and Boston's like minus 150 something to win it. I thought that was insane. Did you see that?
Yeah.
They've been favored to win it all for a long time.
Well, the Nuggets were the favorites to start the postseason.
Were they? I thought
Yeah.
Boston still was.
Uh-uh.
Oh. Well, yeah, that I heard that too. It's like whoever would have won last night, everyone would pick the West team. I mean, I don't blame them, but I think they're a really bad matchup for Dallas. McDaniels, they could throw McDaniels out in the bigs, or the Dallas doesn't really have a big. I mean, they got Lively, but
you're gonna throw
rely on a 20-year-old. Can't rely on a 20-year-old Lively to shut down, those guys.
But you're gonna throw Ant and McDaniels at Luka.
Yeah, that sounds like a nightmare.
If they call the games like they called against Denver, bro, Luka is gonna throw a temper tantrum.
He's gonna throw a temper tantrum if he has 100 points and gets to the foul line every possession. I've never seen a dude cry more than that dude. It's unbelievable. Like it almost makes basketball hard to watch when I watch Luka. Like it's ridiculous how much he cries. Yeah, I saw a video. Some Mavs fan was even getting pissed off at Luka. He's like, why the fuck are you bitching? Like when Luka was bitching after something, like it's bad when your own fans are saying something. So, yeah, no, I'm really excited for that series. I think Dallas will probably win. I can see Dallas taking game 1, and then like Minnesota wakes up and it's like, fuck this. Like, let's just.
I don't know, man. I think Minnesota's gonna be juiced from the start.
You think?
Yeah.
They could be on a high from the last game. That's come out a little flat. I don't know. When does that series start?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. So
yeah.
Dallas had a little rest. I don't know, man. I think if Dallas were to even remotely have a chance, they got to win game 1. I mean, obviously they're a good team, but I think Minnesota long term is the play. I think they were like minus 155 to win the series. Minnesota, that is. So yeah. So you're saying Minnesota in 5?
Yes.
I'll say Minnesota in 6. Yeah. We'll see. And then the East, how do you see the East going?
Celtics in 6 because they can't win at home.
I'll say Celtics in 5. Dude, what did Indiana shoot yesterday? 71% or something insane. How's that even possible?
ESPN's like, the Knicks. Oh, the Knicks. I'm so happy the Knicks lost, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I do like it when the Knicks are in the playoffs because like the crowds are psychotic. Yeah. Like it is fun to feel it. Like you can feel it through the freaking TV, but like as soon as they show Stephen A. Smith, like as soon as the game's over, like it makes it all worth it, Like just like Knicks fans, but yeah, I didn't really care. I like Brunson, but he, man, Thibodeau is running their players into the ground.
The Nova players already play hard. And the fact that you got them playing 1,000 minutes is just cool.
Yeah. Well, they were saying, speaking of trades, Mikal Bridges, they're saying, speculation that he's going to go to the Knicks. I don't know who they trade for him. But what would be Hart, DiVincenzo, Brunson?
No, the reason why they would want that is to have the 4 Nova players on the same roster.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Those 4 guys. Yeah. I don't know what the trade would be, but I guess give him Randall and someone else. But yeah, that'd be fun. But yeah, no, New York's kind of back, so I got to give it to them. All right, so you're saying in 6. All right, I'm gonna say 5.
So we flip flopped.
Yeah, basically. So
all right, I just saw the Edmonton Oilers beat the Canucks in Game 7.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the Dallas Stars. Got to give it up to your Stars.
Let's go. I'll be there. I'll be there Game 5 unless the Stars sweep them.
I think
a couple weeks.
Y'all played 2 of the best teams in the NHL to start. Heartbreaking for the Avs. I mean, I really don't know what to say. I feel like Nathan McKinnon created a lot of opportunities, but someone wanted to do some needles and get kicked out and suspended for a little bit. So
some needles.
Wanted to he didn't do the choo-choo. I found out, Mike. Wasn't the choo-choo train. Do some dark shit. Reason why he got suspended. But yeah, Dallas looks good. Y'all's goalie, I know you give him a lot of shit, but he's the reason why y'all won the series.
Andre's good. He just there are just times where he frustrates the hell out of you because he's at fucking center ice picking up the puck. He's nowhere near the net. It's unbelievable. He just makes you nervous sometimes. He literally is way outside the blue on some goals, and you're like, dude, what are you doing? Just stay
Wyatt
home.
Johnson's a stud too.
Yeah, Wyatt Johnson. He's young. He's good. Tanev, they signed him. He's a veteran. He's down to 1 tooth at this point. So they got some guys. Dallas Stars got some guys. And Pavelski can get any juice at all. He's literally a dinosaur out there. He looks so slow, but he scored the other night. So Robertson. They got some firepower, but some of the firepower's on the Father Time's catching up to them a little bit, but they got a nice mixture of vets and young guys. I think they'll give Edmonton run for their money. Yeah, Edmonton seems very top heavy, huh?
Yes, extremely. You got McDavid, who's like McKinnon. McDavid and McKinnon are 1A, 1B in terms of NHL goal scorers, goal creators, along with the guy from the Maple Leaf. But yeah, the Edmonton's very top heavy, but we'll see what happens, man. The Canucks choke again. It's just, I don't know. It's a weird time, Mike. What about LSU baseball? Do they get in? How many games do they have to win the SEC tournament to get in the tournament?
I don't know. LSU baseball, I've been watching them. They've been pretty hot lately. I'm not gonna lie. They should have won that Bama series. Milazzo just kind of fucked up. But yeah, I think they probably need to win 1 or 2 in the SEC series, and then they've been on such a hot streak lately. I think they're going to get in. I mean, they're defending champs too, so I think that's got to mean something when people are looking at that. But I don't know if they'll host or not. But yeah, I think if they get 2 wins in the tournament, then they solidify themselves as being in. But they're catching fire a little bit. Tommy White's was hitting 600 last week, so their team just. Their timely hitting was terrible in the beginning of the season, and it's kind of coming back, but we'll see. I kind of want to see what it's going to look like tomorrow. They play at 9:30 a.m. tomorrow. But yeah, I want to see what it's going to look like against the SEC tournament to kind of see how far this team will go. But, I mean, they're picking it up. They just had a really, really slow start for most of the season, so we'll see. Shout out UL Baseball, ranked again.
UL softball, baby.
UL softball, LSU softball, LSU baseball, and UL baseball is all on the rise. So
Air Force baseball too, baby.
How are they looking?
They won the Mountain West regular season.
So they're getting a tournament, huh?
No, they got to win their conference tournament.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Who's their best player?
Yeah, a couple. Jay Thomason. He's going to win the Mountain West Player of the Year. He broke the Mountain West home run record. He's got like 23 home runs this year. Sam Colasingham. He batted 400 2 years in a row. Went through a major slump this year. Now he's batting like 330. Got drafted last year. Really good player. And then you got Charlie Jones, who had 9 RBIs this past weekend, in like 25 in the last like 2 or 3 series. So he's been pretty good.
These guys, how does it work with the Air Force? I don't know if you know how it works, but like if these guys do get drafted out of the Air Force, how does that work?
Get a waiver to go play
okay.
professionally before. Same thing with like Trey Taylor.
Yeah. It's usually granted most of the time, I'm assuming.
Yeah. I mean, they're not going to grant somebody to go play in the CFL or anything.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, well, most MLB players, they go sit in the mine. A lot of times they get called up. So I wonder how that works.
It depends on their chance.
Yeah. Interesting.
Like Paul Skeens would have had his granted.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Paul Skeens was like a mid-tier recruit, and then he goes to LSU, and then now he's. I mean, speaking of Paul Skeens, like, wow,
Jesus, dude,
he's unbelievable. He's throwing
6 innings, 11 strikeouts, 1 walk, no hits.
Yeah, he's throwing 101 miles an hour with movement on the ball. It's like, oh my god. I really like Skeens just for the fact that he throws strikes. Like, I just hate pitchers that, and I mean that's been Elson's kryptonite, huh?
He had 1 walk.
Yeah, and that walk was like 2 inches off the plate. Like, yeah, it was. Yeah, just pitchers that throw strikes are just always the best. So, I mean, that's like one thing that was like, if you're an LSU baseball fan, like you watch it at all. It's like they don't throw strikes, or at least a lot of the good ones. A lot of the mid-tier pitchers don't. So they'll drive you crazy. But yeah, we'll see.
And what's
how's what?
My boy.
Who's your boy?
Number 30, Christian Little. How's Christian Little doing?
I don't think I think he's 99, but yeah, no, Christian Little is he's either the greatest pitcher of all time, or he's like throwing like Wild Thing, like just a bit outside, like he's not even close. No, he's been really hot lately. I went to the Auburn game like 3 weeks ago, a month ago, whenever it was, and man, like I saw Gage jump pitch. I think it might have just been them two, but dude, when he throws the ball, like it hits that catcher's mitt, that thing pops. Like that shit is loud. He's got an arm, but like when he's dialed in, man, LSU, like look out, because he is like, if he figures it out, like man, they're a different team. Like Christian Little, when Christian Little's dialed in, man, he is like a big time arm. Upper 90s fastball, stuff like that. But yeah, there are times when you're watching him and you're like, how's this dude even in D1? And then other times you're like, this guy could start, on the mound in the MLB. So it's crazy. But yeah, he's hit or miss, but he's picked it up lately. So LSU is going to do anything in a tournament. They need him to pitch well, or they're kind of doomed, to be honest with you. But we'll see. So have you watched LSU baseball at all this year, or not really?
A little bit. Not too much.
Yeah.
Well, probably starting tomorrow.
9:30, so 8:30 your time.
By that time, I might wake up and catch a little bit of it.
Yeah, you just got to watch the last 4 or 5 innings. So not even that much. So just catch the last 3. But Georgia should be a good one. I don't know what seed Georgia is. I'm assuming they got that guy Condon or whatever his name is.
Yeah. No, he's really.
He's probably my number 1 pick.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll see.
Take your boy from Florida. What's his name?
Caglione.
Yeah,
that dude's good. He can. What is he like? Ambidextrous. He can play first base, pitch. Yeah, he can hit. Yeah, that dude's good.
Ambidextrous means he can throw with both arms.
I think he can.
Oh shit! Yeah.
I think I'm not sure. I might be bullshitting, but I'm pretty sure he can. Maybe not, but yeah, I'm glad he sucked in the World Series last year against LSU because he didn't do much. But yeah, watching him this year, he was good last year, but he's way better this year. So, we'll see. Does Does Colorado have or Air Force have any chance at hosting or no?
No.
No, they never host.
Yeah, they can host in like 27. They're getting a lot of upgrades to their stadium currently.
Is that how that? I don't really know how the hosting works. Is that how it works? You gotta have like a viable stadium.
The host currently, just because they are like building up the facilities.
Yeah, the Alex Box getting renovations after this year, thank God. So they got like the bullpen makes no sense. Like it's
Yeah.
but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. So is there anything else you want to touch on?
That's all I got, my friend.
All right. Well, if you guys can like and subscribe, we'd really appreciate it. And we appreciate you guys tuning in. Yeah, you heard the man. So yeah, we'll see you guys next episode.